This is Art Television.
Coming up, State of Business, sponsored by
New SLT Mobitel Home 4G LTE users get date offers and win valuable tab computers through a raffle draw.
IWS Aviation.
A very good evening and a warm welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Shayan Ali and let's have a look at the headlines first. Government Special Economic Council will accelerate the nation's economic growth. Exporters warning of damages to sector reputation call for a free floated dollar. News in detail. The Cabinet of Ministers decided yesterday to set up a special economic council and meet weekly to accelerate the nation's economic growth through the management of the entire economy and thoroughly discussing local economic policies, including macroeconomic policies. Minister Dalasalah Perima, briefing the media this morning, said that the council will also streamline the post-pandemic behaviour of the national economy.
Cabinet තීරණ දැනුම් දීමේදී එකක් තමයි කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලය විසින් ගන්න ලැබූ තීන්දුව අතරේ එකක් තමයි ආර්ථික සභාවක් පිහිටවීම. ආර්ථික සභාවක් සඳහා අතිගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමත්, ගරු අගමැතිතුමත්, මුදල් ඇමතුමත් ඇතුළු මහ බැංකුවේ අධිපතිතුමා, මුදල් අමාත්‍යාංශයේ ලේකම්තුමා, බන්දුල ගුණාදර ඇමතුමා, ටොන්ස්ටන් ප්‍රනාන්දු ඇමතුමා, මහින්දානන්ද අලුත්ගමගේ ඇමතුමා, රමේෂ් පතරණ ඇමතුමා සහ මහ බැංකුව අධිපතිතුමා, මුදල් ලේකම්තුමා, ජනාධිපති ලේකම්තුමා සහ නියෝජ්‍ය මහ බැංකුව අධිපතිතුමාගෙන් සමන්විත වූ විශේෂ ආර්ථික සභාවක් පිටුණු ලැබුවා. මේක තාම වැදගත් තීන්දුවක්. මොකද රජයේ ආර්ථික ප්‍රතිපත්ති, මූල්‍ය ප්‍රතිපත්ති, ඒ මූල්‍ය ප්‍රතිපත්ති වල ඍජු බලපෑමක් කරන ප්‍රධාන සංවර්ධන ව්‍යාපෘතිය ඇතුළුව මේ මොහොතේ ආර්ථිකයේ යම් සසල වීමක් තියෙන බව අපි කවුරුත් තේරුම් ගන්න දෙයක්. ඒ නිසා මෙවැනි මොහොතක ඊටාම වැදගත් තීන්දුවක් කියලා කියන කාරණේ මම කැමතියි ඔබට පළමුවෙන්ම අවධාරණය කරන්න.
The central bank announced last night partial flexibility in foreign exchange rates and revised the cap on the dollar upwards from 203 rupees to 230 rupees. The central bank has been under pressure to relax the cap on the exchange rate due to the thriving black market, which offers between 340 rupees and 260 rupees per dollar. Considering the severity of the external shocks and recent developments in the domestic front, the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka announced a comprehensive policy package on 4th March of 2022 with a view to counter such economic headwinds. The central bank also indicated that it will continue to closely monitor the emerging macroeconomic and financial market developments, both globally and domestically, and will stand ready to take further measures as appropriate with the aim of achieving stability in the fronts of inflation, the external sector, the financial sector, and real economic activity. In that context, the central bank says greater flexibility in the exchange rate will be allowed to the markets with immediate effect. The central bank is also of the view that forex transactions would take place at levels which are not more than 230 rupees per US dollar. Prior to this, central bank has also decided to increase the standing deposit facility rate and the standing lending facility rate of the central bank by 100 basis points each to 6.50% and 7.50% respectively. And to revise upwards the caps imposed on interest rates applicable to credit cards to 20% per annum, on pre-arranged temporary overdrafts to 18% per annum, and on pawning facilities to 12% per annum. Directions to effect these regulations' interest rates were to be issued shortly. The central bank decision to revise the cap on the dollar came on the heels of Labour Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva proposal to pay at least 240 rupees per dollar for remittances sent to Sri Lanka. Accordingly, the Cabinet of Ministers approved the proposal presented by the Minister Nimal Siripala to increase the current incentive allowance of 10 rupees per dollar to 38 rupees per dollar. Journalists also requested further clarification over the decision on foreign exchange rate flexibility by the central bank and the request by the Labour Minister.
විගමනික ශ්‍රමිකයන්ට රුපියල් 38ක මුදලක් වැඩියෙන් ලබා දෙන්න තීරණය කරලා තියෙනවා. එතකොට දැන් ඩොලර් එක ඊයේ දවසේ රුපියල පාත් කිරීමත් සමග රුපියල් 230ක් වගේ වෙනවයි කියලා මහ බැංකුව නිවේදනය කරලා තිබුණා. ඒ කියන්නේ ඩොලරයගේ කීය වුණත් මේ පිටරටවල් වලින් ශ්‍රමිකයෝ වෙන මුදල් වලට මේ ගාණ ගෙවනවද? ඒ කියන්නේ රුපියල් 38ක් වැඩිපුර ගෙවනවද කියන එක තමයි දැනගන්න ඕන.
නමුත් මේ ප්‍රශ්නය ගැන තමයි මම ආරම්භයේදී කිව්වේ මහ බැංකුවේ අධිපතිතුමා හෙට විශේෂ ප්‍රවෘත්ති සාකච්ඡාවක් තියලා මේ පැහැදිලි කිරීම කරනවා කියලා. මොකද ඊයේ කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලයේ මේ තීන්දුව ගන්නකොට මහ බැංකුව මේ තීරණයට ප්‍රවේශලා තිබෙන්නේ නැහැ. එතකොට තිබ්බේ නිශ්චිත අගයක් තිබ්බ 210ක් විදියට. නමුත් අර විදේශ සම්ප්‍රේෂණ වෙනුවෙන් අමතරව රුපියල් 10ක් ගවන්නට ඕනේ කියලා කියන විශ්වාසයෙන් තමයි එතෙක් කටයුතු කරේ නවෝදයා. නමුත් රටට ලැබිය යුතු සම්ප්‍රේෂණ විශාල වශයෙන් අඩු වුණා. මොකද නීති විරෝධී වෙනත් ව්‍යාපාර ඔස්සේ මේ සම්ප්‍රේෂණ මුදල් රුපියල් විදියට රටට ඇතුළත් වුණා. ඩොලර් විදියට නෙමෙයි. ඒ නිසා තමයි ඊයේ අර යෝජනාව කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලයට ඉදිරිපත් වුණේ නිමල් ඇමතුමාගේ යෝජනාවක් විදියටත් බන්දුල ඇමතුමාගේ යෝජනාවක් විදියටත් යෝජනා දෙකක් විදියට.
Stay tuned for more news right after this commercial break.
Now, you can buy your ultra-fast fiber connection online through sltmobitel.lk and get special discounts. Defying gravity doesn't define an athlete. It's the connection, a rhythm of consistency, the heart rate that makes life a sport.
With decades of precision comes a partnership between man and technology. Stay well connected at home or on the go with SLT Mobitel.
Welcome back after the break. Joint export associations and chambers yesterday called for the government to immediately find solutions for the energy crisis owing to the fact that prevailing conditions have begun to impact productivity. The associations communicated that the shortage of the fuel for logistics and power interruptions have started to impact supply chains and production. The joint export associations and chambers warned that these conditions will significantly impact Sri Lanka's reputation and credibility as reliable partner on the global network and that it could impact revenue the country earns through the export industry. Johan Lawrence from the Joint Apparel Associations Forum added that the apparel sector is aiming for exports of $6 billion in 2022. However, increasing costs due to the current crisis has dampened the expected figure. The associations gathered at the media briefing stressed the importance of maintaining credibility as once it is lost, it would be very difficult to attract buyers to Sri Lanka. This would cripple the export industry if they are not protected and will significantly reduce the nation's foreign income. They called for the government to allow the exchange rate to be determined by the market as control was impacting the economy and their operations. A free-floated dollar will benefit exporters who contribute significantly to government revenue. As many factories require grid power to run energy-intensive machinery and as generators are not sufficient to service these needs, many export-oriented factories require uninterrupted grid-based electricity to function at optimum levels. They expressed that it is very inefficient for industries to work on generators as kilowatt costs 30 rupees over grid power. They also stated that current events are still to fully impact the export sector. According to the Sri Lanka Association of Manufacturers and Exporters of Rubber Products, the foreign exchange crisis is compounding the problem. They believe that while interventions is necessary, exchange should be determined through free market economy. They recommend that the government should draw up a plan including viable sustainable solutions to offer medium stability to all sectors. They request full transparency so that all sectors may effectively engage in the solution and help everyone adjust accordingly and contribute in a meaningful manner. The Sri Lankan Shippers Council warns that if the US decides to sanction Russian fuel, global prices will rise considerably and only those holding credible facilities with suppliers can secure their fuel. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa yesterday inaugurated the Sri Lanka's largest cement factory belonging to Lanka Sunstar Cement Corporation. It is located in the Magampura Lanka Industrial Zone. The President and the Prime Minister also laid the foundation stone for the proposed new steel factory. The investment for the new 250-acre steel plant is $400 million and manufacturing is scheduled to begin in late 2024. The investment for the cement factory, which commenced construction in March 2020, was $100 million. Covering an area of 63 acres, it is one of the largest cement factories in the South Asian region. The management claims that the factory has an annual production capacity of 4 million metric tons and will supply 2.8 million metric tons to the local market under the first phase. Conveyor belts are used to transport the raw materials between the Hambantota port and the factory with the aim of ensuring high efficiency and reducing waste and pollution, and the factory has a fully automatic stacker reclaimer yard and bridge-type ship unloader. In line with international trends, this will enable handling of goods using technology instead of labor. Lanka Sunstar Cement factory is also designed to manufacture all types of cement, including ordinary Portland, Portland composite and blended hydraulics. Addressing the gathering, Lanka Sunstar Cement Corporation Chairman Nandana Lokuvithana said that with the expansion of manufacturing at the factory, the demand for cement in the country can be met locally. Minister Chamal Rajpaksha, who spoke at the inauguration of the Lanka Sunstar Cement Corporation factory, expressed that these developments are the fruits of the long-term plans of the 5th Executive President Mahinda Rajpaksha. The minister added that the implementation of these plans has enabled youth in area to look forward to the future and also pointed out the need for public officials to support and encourage investors.
Hambantota districtya Ushka Kalapayak හැටියට තමයි අපි පාසල් යන අවධියේදී ඉගෙන ගන්න. අපිට වතුර තිබුණේ නැහැ. අපිට ප්‍රාණීය ජලය එකයි. ගොවිතැන් සඳහා ජලය තිබුණේ නැහැ. අපි පුරුදු වුණේ කෘෂි කර්මාන්තය, ගර්භ පාලනය හා හේන් ගොවිතැන. මේක තමයි අපේ ප්‍රධාන ආදාය මාර්ග තිබුණේ. නමුත් මෙය වෙනස් කරන්න හිතුවේ අපේ හිටපු කරු ජනාධිපති මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මහත්මයා. අපි හම්බන්තොට දිස්ත්‍රික්කයේ තියෙන සම්පත් පිළිබඳව අධ්‍යයනය කරා. අපි ඒ සඳහා අවශ්‍ය සැලසුම් සකස් කරා. අපි ඒවා ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්න අවශ්‍ය පියවර ගත්තා. එහි ප්‍රතිඵලයක් තමයි අද මේ ඉදිවෙන මහාදවන්ත කර්මාන්තශාලාව. අපි හැමදාමත් අපේ කෘෂි කර්මාන්තයෙන් පමණක් අපිට අපේ තරුණ පිරිසගේ අවශ්‍යතාවය ඉෂ්ට කරන්න බෑ. අද අධ්‍යාපනයක් ලැබලා ඉන්පසුව රැකියාවක් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන තරුණ පිරිසට අනාගතයක් දකින්න අනාගතය පිළිබඳ අපේක්ෂාවෙන් කටයුතු කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු ඇතුව කටයුතු කරන්න අපි මඟ පෙන්විය යුතු තියෙනවා. රජයේ නිලධාරීන් විවිධ වගකීම් දරන අය මේ රටේ යහපත වෙනුවෙන් වැඩ කරන්න ඉත අදිෂ්ඨාන කරගන්නවා නම් මේ රට දිනවන්න අපට අපහසුතාවයක් නැහැ.
Stay tuned for stock updates.
Defying gravity doesn't define an athlete. It's the connection, a rhythm of consistency, the heart rate that makes life a sport.
With decades of precision comes a partnership between man and technology. Stay well connected at home or on the go with SLT Mobitel.
Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The All Share Price Index dropped 437.46 points to close at 10,523.03, and the S&P SL20 dropped 120.89 points to close at 3,593.39. The turnover was 3.4 billion rupees and over 305 million shares were traded. Up next are Forex Rates. And that's all news for today. See you tomorrow with State of Business at the usual time. Until then, take care and good night.
State of Business was sponsored by
New SLT Mobitel Home 4G LTE users get date offers and win valuable